Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Lauren and I have been doing so many eyeshadow palette reviews. This is another one. This is a whole collection. I had mixed feelings about getting this collection, but we will talk about it. First, let me tell you what we're talking about. We today are going to be reviewing the new Bijoux Brilliance collection from Pat McGrath. This is her holiday collection that launched. It's been a few weeks now, but it did take a few weeks to get to me, and then it just kind of sat around. But this is a very large collection. It was a little bit daunting to review. So I decided, I'm not going to do a look with every single palette because we have 6 eyeshadow palettes in this collection, but we are going to do some swatches. We're going to do a couple looks. There's also a face palette in this collection. So let me talk about first about what this collection consists of so you know what you're getting yourself into. In this collection, first of all, a couple people commented that they thought that this might have been kind of like a Bridgerton reject kind of packaging because it does give off Bridgerton vibes, but it is really pretty, I will say that. But we have 2 of the Mothership Bijoux Brilliance palettes that came with this collection. Now these retail for $76 each. The first one is Starstruck Splendor, and it looks like this. And then the other one has more of a purple bow on it, and this is Jeweled Temptation. And the inside of this one looks like that. So they both come with 2 blushes and just a gorgeous array of eyeshadows. Then you get into the smaller palettes. Now, this collection came with 4 Bijoux Brilliance eyeshadow palettes, that's what they're calling them. And there's 4 different color stories, and they retail for $36 each. So just to kind of give you a look into what each of them looks like, we have Lunar Nightshade, which looks like this. We have, what is this one called? Bronze Ecstasy. I feel like she's come out with so many palettes called Bronze Ecstasy, but it looks like that. Then we have the Bordeaux Bliss, which is more of a pinky color story. And then last but certainly not least, this one is still in its box. This is Sunset Romance. Now, this is the only one that I've decided to not keep because I kind of bought everything, but I decided I'm not going to swatch this one. I'm not going to do a look with this one. I'm probably going to give this away to a friend or a family member, probably for the holidays, because if you couldn't tell, there was a lot of neutral colors in this collection. And this one I felt like was the most neutral of all. So I decided, hey, I'm just going to hold on to that and use it for something else, gift giving wise, in the future. Because it looks too much like the other ones. You don't need them all. The other thing I picked up from this collection is the Divine Blush Bronze and Glow Trio. It comes in 3 colors. I have the lightest one, but it has a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter. Each of these retail for $52. So we are going to be playing with this as well. This collection actually also came with 3 different mascaras. They were in like very strange colors, red, blue, and green. And to be honest, I mean, I guess it's not strange for the holidays. Red and green is very Christmassy. But I decided I did not need those. They actually retailed for $34 each, and I was like, I'm not going to use those enough. So I didn't end up picking those up. But I picked up pretty much all of the rest. All of the eyeshadow palettes, one of the face palettes, the one that fit my skin the best. And we are going to do some swatches. I'm not going to do live swatches. Basically what I've done is I've just put it on my arms. I'm going to show you what it looks like. We're not going to just do it together because we would be here forever, but I did want to give you a look into what each color story looks like. And then I ended up doing 2 looks. I chose 2 different palettes that I was the most interested in, and this is one of them. And I did 2 looks. So I wanted to kind of show you how they work, and then we're going to get into what my overall thoughts are. Is this collection worth it? It is bougie for sure, so do you need it? And is this something you're going to add to your cart in their upcoming sale? Because Pat McGrath's sales are way better than, say, the Sephora VIB sale. Their end of the year holiday sales tend to be pretty sweet. They do a lot of gifts with purchase. Just the discounts tend to be a lot steeper. So that's kind of why, even though we've already gone past the Sephora VIB sale, that doesn't matter because that sale is nothing compared to what Pat McGrath does on their website. So yeah, are you gonna need this by the end of the video? I don't know. let's find out. I'm gonna show you the swatches, then we're gonna get into the 2 looks, and then we're gonna finish up with my final thoughts. So let's get into those swatches. Starstruck Splendor, Jewel Temptation. Swatching all the smaller palettes together to keep it a little simpler. These 5 swatches belong to the Lunar Nightshade palette. The next 5 belong to Bordeaux Bliss. And then these ones are Bronze Ecstasy. Those are the smaller palettes. I was very intrigued by the greens in this palette. So we're gonna go ahead and do our first look with this one. This is the Starstruck Splendor palette. The greens are something different that she doesn't typically do. So I feel like I really wanted to use those ones amidst all the neutrals in here. So yeah, we're gonna do that first. I'm going to prime my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot in Bare Study. This is kind of my ride or die primer, and it works great for Pat McGrath's formula. So the names of all the colors are actually on the back of the palette, which makes it a little bit annoying, but that's okay. I'm gonna start by going into this shade, which is Forever Nude. I think that's a great transition shade for my skin tone, so I'm gonna go into that one. Oh my god, there's just so much in front of me right now. There's so many little palettes. And this is kind of, it's got like a little bit of a hint of pink to it. It's very pretty. I mean, look, Pat McGrath does her nudes so well, but we just want to see something different, you know? That's why I was so excited when I saw that this palette had some greens in it. I was excited to try those out because I personally love a good green. Next, what I want to do is I do want to create a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to go into this color, which is called Mythic Majesty. I'm going to put it on just kind of the outer ends of my eyes. I'm going to buff it out a little bit. Okay, those colors blended out super well. Now what I want to do is I want to go into this dark green color. This is Emerald Eclipse, very fitting name. And I think what I want to do with this one, pretty dark, so let's go ahead. I'm going to put it in, I think, my crease. It is, wow, it is incredibly sparkly. Very, very pretty. Okay, I'm definitely getting a little bit of fallout. I feel like this color probably needs some glitter glue to hold it into place. Okay, so that is just kind of a little bit of a pop of color. Let me bring it up a little bit so it's not hidden by my hood. And now what I want to do is I'm going to go into this really pretty mint green, which is called Celestial Celadon. And I am just going to use my finger and I'm going to kind of just tap it over the rest of my lid. Next, I really want to go into this color. This is Opalescent Moonstone. And I think I'm going to put just a little bit of this in the corner of my eye. You know, I'm going to actually use my little pinky for this. And then we have to go back into, I don't know, let's go into this color, Dawn Divinity. I'm gonna put that underneath my waterline. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put on some eyeliner and mascara to finish up the look, and then come back to show you the finished overall product. This is the finished eye look. I decided I do wanna go into one of these blushes. Again, a lot of these blushes are not new. They exist already in her collection, which I will say is a little disappointing, but they're still beautiful. But let's go into Coral Cosmos, because this is actually one that I don't think I own in my collection. The other one, which is Nymphette, I believe I do have. Okay, so that's a really pretty color. I like that. I typically don't like blushes that are too orange, and I was a little worried by the name Coral, but I think this is the perfect combo of like a peachy pink color. It's very, very pretty, and I think it goes pretty well with this look, which is interesting because that dark green definitely does deepen it quite a bit. Okay, so this is what we came up with the first look with the Starstruck Splendor palette, and we are going to do another look with one of the other palettes, so let's get into it. Okay, so I've already primed my eyes with my MAC Paint Pot, and we are going to be using the Lunar Nightshade palette for this look because this is unique. Like, this is different. I really like this. Now, is it all shimmer? No, I think these two are mattes. This kind of looks like a shimmer. What are you? No, you're a shimmer, huh? Okay, well, I think there's like one matte in here and it says purple. The rest definitely have some shimmer to them, which is exciting. So I think first I want to go into this one in the middle, Pale Amethyst. I'm going to use a shimmer as my transition shade today. Fun. I do love doing all shimmer looks. I feel like I don't get the chance to do it enough. This color really doesn't have much base color to it. It's pretty sheer. So I'm just gonna put it on my upper lid. It's gonna look pretty there regardless, but definitely not a transition color. Just a pretty shimmer. Also, it says it's amethyst, but it seems more pink to me than purple. Wow, okay, so putting it on using your finger definitely leads to much more of a dramatic effect. You can kind of see the amethyst color a little bit more. Okay, next what I want to do is I need to go into that matte purple. So that's the Noir Nebula. And that color is definitely just going to be going on the outer ends of my eyes. Now, purple is historically a pretty difficult color to formulate, so I'm interested to see how this is going to go on. So far, it's going on flawlessly. It's a gorgeous purple. Yeah, that's really pretty. If you've been here before, you know I love purple eyeshadow, and I really like that color. That's really pretty. Okay, I think what I want to do is I want to go into this green color. This is Platinum Moonlight. I'm going to, I think that's am I reading these backwards? I don't think so. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's Platinum Moonlight. But I think what I want to do is I am going to just kind of put that color all over the rest of my lid for now. I do want to get into that dark blue that's next to it, but I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. Okay, and I do want to go into Midnight Iris. It has to be Midnight Iris. That name just fits it so much. Okay, so I'm going to go into Midnight Iris. Ooh. You are going to get all over my face, aren't you? I'm just going to kind of tap it into the edge. Give it a little more depth. So I will be honest, like I could have just left that color off and been pretty happy. Actually been very happy with the way that this look has turned out. That color does go beautifully with the green. Okay, last for this look, I think I'm gonna try to go into this color. This is Neptunian Orchid, I think. And I'm gonna actually put it underneath my waterline. It's a very, very soft, creamy color. Pretty. Let me go ahead and put on some eyeliner and mascara to finish off this look, and then we're gonna get into the face palette. And this is the final look with the Lunar Nightshade palette. Just as a reminder, this is the palette that we were using. There's so many of them. I'm pleasantly surprised. I kind of blown away by how well each color worked, and the pigmentation of that purple, how beautiful that kind of sagey color green was. I think this tealy blue color Midnight Iris here, I think that one is going to kind of shine better if you say just use that one, and maybe, I don't know, the one in the middle, Pale Amethyst, or this one over here, Platinum Moonlight. I think that will kind of help it shine a little bit better. This is a darker look than I would typically go for, but it's kind of nice to know you can do like a pretty decent smoky eye with this little palette. So lots of options with this palette. But let's get into the face palette next, because I'm excited for that. I do love her face palettes quite a bit. So this is the, is there not a name? Is it just face palette? There's nothing on here. Okay, I'm not sure if there's supposed to be something on the back. I think there was supposed to be something on the back, because this is where they've been putting all the names of everything. So I think mine is missing a back sticker, which makes me a little bit sad. But this is the color story I got it in. It's the lightest one that they have. And we're just gonna try it out. We're gonna use all of them, the bronzer, the blush, and the highlighter. Her highlighters are fantastic. But let's go into this bronzer first because I'm trying to think. I know I have a couple bronzers from her in other face palettes. I think, maybe not. Okay, I need to go in a little harder than that. And maybe a little harder than that. Okay, there it is. I see it, guys. Okay, it's not too warm. I'm always worried about that with bronzers. Sometimes they just look so warm on my skin. It's very light, and it did take a little bit of patience to build up, but it is a nice color. Okay, so that's the bronzer. I like it, but I did have to work kind of hard to get it on my face. Next, we're gonna go into the blush here, and I'm gonna put the names up on the screen because I'm kind of bummed that I don't know the names because they're missing from my palette. Okay, that's a really pretty color. So far, all the blushes we've used have been blushes that I would reach for all the time. That's just a really pretty light petal pink. Maybe that's even the name of it. I don't know. Maybe you'll know because it's on the screen, but I don't know. Okay, so excited to get into this highlighter here. So let's get into it. Oh, that highlighter, oh my God. It's like an icy pink. It's gorgeous, oh my gosh. Okay, really like that highlighter. Oh, so pretty. This is the look that we did with those two palettes. Now, this is also the look that you're seeing in the intro and the outro. So, I think we should get into the outro. I think we should really talk about how I feel about the quality of these palettes. Did it live up to the Pat McGrath name? And should you buy any of them? Let's get into it. Whew, okay, so big collection, big thoughts about this collection in my head. And let's see. I think the first one is pretty obvious. These are very repetitive color stories. There is nothing new in this collection. I'm just gonna say that now. Lots of neutrals. We've got a fair amount of pinks. That is all per the course from Pat McGrath. She likes her neutrals, she likes her pinks. It's always kind of disappointing. She comes out with a new Mothership palette and it's the same as the last Mothership palette. Okay, it is. She doesn't do a lot of bright colors. And I just feel like this collection would have benefited a little bit from a little bit of variety, okay? A little bit, you know? I will say, in terms of variety, at least this one, Bordeaux Bliss, is just very pink, right? It's very pink. This one, Bronze Ecstasy, is very bronze. Again, I used this one for a wedding and it was fantastic. Very neutral. And then Lunar Nightshade might be the most unique one that she's come out with for a while. There's some colors. It's very pretty. But then you get into what she's calling the Mothership palettes. We've got the Jeweled Temptation, which lots of neutrals with a couple pops of color. There's a purple. Yeah, there's a purple. And then we have the one that we used in the look, which was Starstruck Splendor, which again, neutral with a couple pops of color. Yeah, lots of neutral. And you know, the pops of colors are purple and there's green. And that's kind of it. You know, you're not seeing blue. You don't see red. There's no orange. There's a couple yellowish goldy looking ones. So there's that. But there's just her same old color story. So if that is something that you already have in your collection, I can safely say you do not need this. But now that I've done my kind of spiel on the color story, these work really, really well. The eyeshadow formula in these palettes is top tier Pat McGrath. Now you're not getting any of her Blitz Astral shades, which are her special shades that she normally reserves for her Mothership palettes, but the shades in these palettes are creamy, they're pigmented, they just go on beautifully. They're really easy to use. You can pull out a look in a couple minutes and it's gonna look amazing because these colors just apply amazingly. Now, I think I was probably the most concerned about the Lunar Nightshade, which is on my eyes right now. It had the most colors. Again, purple tends to be something that can go wrong fairly easily, but it didn't. It blended out beautifully. It's a beautiful purple. And just like all the shadows in this palette are really fun to work with. And this one in particular, the Platinum Moonlight, it's this creamy, wetter formula that is just beautiful. It's so fun to play with. So I will say the formula of these is really good. Now, with the Starstruck Splendor palette that we also did a look with, I will say same thing. Like everything was just really flawless. Like this color up here, Opalescent Moonstone, is absolutely gorgeous. It's really stunning. And the two grains I used also were really good. Like they went on really well. I was really happy with the way they looked. You're definitely getting good quality with this collection, which I think is super important and something that doesn't always happen in her holiday collections. You know, I know typically she comes out with kind of like one larger palette full of colors, and it's a little more affordable. I think it's normally like $76, so I don't know if that's affordable, but it's an array of bright colors. She didn't come out with that this year, at least yet, but the quality of that is iffy. You know, it's not her same quality. It doesn't feel like the same amount of effort goes into that one. I actually skipped the one last year because I heard it was so bad, and I didn't try it myself, but I never really reached for the other palettes like that I have from her, so I was nervous. I was nervous about this collection. This is her holiday collection, but there's no need to be. The formula is so good. So good. And it's beautiful. You really can create a beautiful look with any of these palettes. Same with the face palette. Like obviously I'm disappointed that we're missing the back sticker because we're paying a lot of money for this. You know, we are paying quite a bit of money. But I do like this palette. This would be a great travel palette. This highlighter is just jaw-dropping. But do you need this whole collection? Absolutely not. Again, I just think it's too repetitive to need everything in this collection. But I will say, if you decide, say during Pat McGrath's holiday sale, that you want to pick up like the bundle of this size eyeshadow palettes, all 4 of them, again, she has great deals during her holiday sale, so I would definitely say wait for that. I think these would make great gifts. Like these would make great gifts for friends. It's bougie. It is. It's fantastic quality. And they tend to be color stories that I think would be easy for anyone to use pretty much. Maybe the exception would be Lunar Nightshade, which of course is my favorite, but it does have more colors in it. So, you know, it might not be for everyone, but I do think the other 3 would just work great on anyone. If someone wants more neutrality in their look, I think any of those 3 would be perfect for that. Now, I do want to make a caveat, let you know, I would not have gotten this collection unless I hadn't found a glitch on Pat McGrath's website that someone told me about. So I was able to get, I think it was an additional 20% off all of the bundles that were already for a discounted price. Every once in a while, like Pat McGrath's website will have a little bit of a glitch. And typically you can't use a coupon code on bundles since they're already discounted, but I was able to do it. So I did it, and I was like, might as well get the whole collection and review it for other people. And I'm glad I did. I am, because these are great quality. These are definitely ones that I'm going to be using a lot. Again, I already used the Bronze Ecstasy for a wedding that I went to, and it was so perfect. I did like a bright red lip, and this was just the perfect neutral color story to kind of counterbalance that red lip. And it was so gorgeous. This is just a beautiful collection with really well-made eyeshadows. And I don't think you can go wrong if you want a couple pieces for yourself or if you want to give some out as gifts. I think that's actually probably a really good idea for these. And again, wait until she has her holiday sale because wow, you just save so much money during that sale. It's just worth it to wait. Even though Pat McGrath shipping is lengthy, it can be lengthy. I think it took me like 3 weeks to get these after I ordered them. But you know what? They still came to me. I still got them. They're all in one piece. It's all good. But wait for the sale if you are interested because it's gonna be a better deal. Trust me. Whew. Well, this was a little bit of a longer video. Obviously, we had a much larger collection we were taking a look at today. But I hope you enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed working with these eyeshadows, playing with them, and just creating the beautiful looks that I created because it was easy. It was effortless. And that means a lot to me in eyeshadows. Sometimes you want something quick and easy. And these I definitely feel like you can pop something on your face quick and easy and it's gonna look great. I'm out of here. I will see you all in the next video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really does help my channel and it would mean a lot to me. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye!